and it's going to be the Spurs off the tip. On offense, here are the Spurs. Utah with a solid 31 wins against the Western Conference opponents they faced a year ago.
Yeah, and 30 wins against the West is usually what it takes to secure home court advantage in the postseason. They just fell short in the end last season of that 4th playoff seed.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Andre Kirilenko and Paul Millsap are the 3 and the 4. Devin Harris is out there with Bell and Jefferson. Oh!
That's the way to exploit the D right there now. Wait for an opening and don't give him a chance to recover.
Well, Clark, he's going to make you pay for those slip-ups.
Yeah, he sure takes advantage of every one of them.
Richard Jefferson's play last season, Clark, a bit of a disappointment for the Spurs team that went into the luxury tax to acquire him.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Kevin. I mean, his scoring rate dipped quite a bit, as did his three-point percentage, and his defense slipped a little bit too. I don't know if he was in ideal shape. He seemed to be a little heavy to me, and then the expectations may have been an awful lot to try to live up to as well, and maybe he pressed a little bit in an effort to be worthy of all of the maneuvering the Spurs did to get him, and that can hurt you when you're out there performing between the lines. You've got to walk that fine line between wanting to prove people wrong and also relaxing and being able to play your game.
Now let's check in with the 3rd member of our crew, Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, there's no doubting that George Hill is making terrific progress as a young player in the NBA. After most home games, he goes straight from the court to the weight room. He said, "I want to be great. I don't just want to be good, I want to get better each year." And I think that goes with watching Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker and how successful they've been. These guys are in the gym all the time, and that goes through everybody on our whole team. Consummate professionals here in San Antonio, gentlemen.
Yeah, championship mentality, Doris. Good point. Thanks. First one falls for him. And he can't hit the second. Clark, a note about Tony Parker. He decided to sit out of international play this offseason to get healthy.
Yeah, he helped lead them to a bronze medal in the 2005 World Championship, and he won a gold medal for France in the FIBA Under-18 World Championships in 2000.
Here is Parker. About 3.5 minutes left in the first. Jefferson picks him up. Here's McDyess. Nails it from close range.
Well, this has been a good shooting start to the game. Shooting 75% from the field on their first 4 shots.
And here's Bell. And almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot 2 here. Tim Duncan picks one up. Parker also played professionally for 2 seasons in the French Basketball League prior to being drafted into the NBA.
Yeah, he was the French League Rookie of the Year in 2001, Kevin. No wonder he stepped on the court in the NBA and got going right away.
Here is Parker. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Now, a short time ago, I had a chance to catch up with Greg Popovich. Their focus will largely be centered on defense today. He said if we challenge them and make them work hard for every point, I don't think they'll have the energy left to handle us defensively. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris. So defense is the key early on.
You know, it's not surprising, Kevin, when you think about the great team. So much of their game planning really starts at the defensive end of the floor.
First free throw is good. Andre Kirilenko, always a formidable defensive presence. Clark with his quickness and that elastic wingspan of his.
Yeah, I call him Mr. Gadget, and last season was a pretty good one for him statistically as well. Unfortunately, a calf injury late in the season derailed his actions in the playoffs.
Kept alive. They've trailed the entire game now. A chance to jump on ahead. Raja Bell on the wing. Picked up by Ginobili. Millsap kicks to Jefferson. Goes back up. And it's laid up and in.
The defense can't do much at that point. You've got to do your work early and be preventative.
Here are the Spurs with the ball. They trail by 1. Clark, you think the Spurs, a model franchise over the last decade, a small market team, just a quality organization from the top on down, is the right kind of model for other teams to follow?
I would say without question, Kevin. I mean, you think about the things they do. They spend their money wise. They make shrewd moves in the draft. So it's not hard to see why they've been a force in the West for so long, because they have a game plan and they work their plan and they stay true to it, and everybody's on the same page.
Here is Parker after Al Jefferson scored. And they took too long getting it past half court. They'll turn it over. Here is Bell. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. To the inside. Oh!
Plays like that are what makes this league so great. He's a special player.
I don't care if you're a fan of another team. You have to admire someone, Clark, who can make those types of plays. Well, they just took way too much time bringing up the ball. 8-second violation. And it's Utah's ball. They're on a 13-3 run right now. Shots good by Jefferson.
When he gets it going like this, you've got to double team it. That's your only hope.
Now Kirilenko defending. Kirilenko against Jefferson. And laid up and in. Jefferson's got his second bucket.
No one really contested him at the basket that time, Kevin. He's just too good in there to leave the door open for.
Jefferson is tagged with the reach. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Harris. Jefferson inside. The Jazz with the turnover.
Good defensive footwork shut down his path to the basket.
Spurs trail by 5. Harris is whistled for reaching in. That's foul number 2 for him.
Well, that's a big foul there. That's his second, and I'm sure the coach is thinking about subbing him out and probably having him sit for a while so he won't be available. I'm torn on that. Sometimes I'd rather see a guy play with 2 fouls, but that's the coach's call. He's had some problems finding the range here in this quarter.
Millsap kicks to Harris. Jacks up the triple. No good. Now San Antonio the other way. Here's the break. Up ahead. Here's McDyess. It's blocked. They retain possession. Another shot. Jefferson. That's good. Jefferson's got 6. Here's Harris. No points for him. Jefferson. It's the reach-in call. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. And the first one at the line is good. And so he makes both from the line. Here is Parker. With 2 seconds left, Parker with another miss. First quarter over, and big numbers up on the board. Jazz. A closely contested game here at the start of the second quarter. Here is Harris. Utah wasn't a terribly great road team, just to win over 500 for him last season.
Yeah, I agree. 21-20 is pedestrian at best. For a team to be great, you want to set the floor. That should be your basement, 500 on the road. And then you've got to go north of that. If they want to make the leap and win their division, they've got to become a better road team.
Manu and Jefferson on the wings. McDyess and Duncan, they're inside. And Parker. That's the San Antonio 5.
That's right, fella. Don't be afraid to power it down.
Yeah, Clark, a good capper at the end of that play. Here's Jefferson. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one. Going back to their road woes, Utah had trouble on the road the season before as well, Clark, in 09.
Yeah, they were really bad that year, finishing with only 15 road wins, and that's almost hard to explain for a team of that caliber. They've got to rededicate themselves to performing on the road, and I think, again, Kevin, it goes back to mindset.
Now here's Ginobili. Over Bell. Ginobili misses.
Great defense there. Challenged the path of the shooter, which caused the miss.
On a Ginobili, Clark in his 9th season out of Argentina, maybe the biggest draft steal of all time, 57th in the second round. He was taken back in the 99 draft.
Yeah, he's definitely up there, Kevin. I mean, since coming to the Spurs in 2002, he's been one of their 3 best players, and he's helped them win 3 championships.
Let's go to our great sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for an update. Doris?
Well, Kevin, as you know, the Spurs got off to a slow start last season, and that's something we had seen from them before. But according to Coach Greg Popovich, this time it was a little bit different. He pointed to the adjustment of teaching new players a system, saying, "We lost a bit more corporate knowledge